diagram with the circuit symbols, and second one is Ohm's law. With respect to that, even we come across the circuit diagram as well as the graph. Then what is a circuit diagram? We know that it is the diagram which indicates how different electrical components are to be connected in the circuit with the corresponding symbols of electrical components. Even we come across the circuit the most circuit symbols of the most commonly used electrical components. Here, just I'll go for writing some symbols, identify what are these.
Bulb.
Electric bulb, sir.
It is an electric bulb.
Bulb, sir. Electric bulb, sir.
What about this?
Variable
Resistor.
Okay. Observe. It is resistance. A resistor. What is this circuit symbol?
Fuse, sir. Electric fuse, sir.
Fuse.
Similarly,
Battery.
Sir.
Battery
Battery,
or combination of battery or combination of cells.
it is the circuit symbol of a battery. It's a combination of more than one cell. One more, it is a wire, and another wire is connected.
Wire joint.
Wire joint, sir.
Wire joint. It is wire joint.
Wire crossing.
Without joining.
Without joining.
Wire crossing without joint. Wire crossing without joint. Like that, we come across different electric circuit symbols of other electrical components as well. Please do learn them. Chance of asking also. Then after that, we come across the relationship between the current flowing through the conductor and also the potential difference between the ends of the conductor. So this relationship was given by a great scientist. He is George Simon Ohm. And even we come across an activity through the circuit diagram to know the relationship between V and I, that is potential difference and electric current. Then what is that relationship?
V by I is equal to constant, sir.
Yes, it is. V by I is equal to constant. And through this, even we stated one of the important law given by George Simon Ohm. This is Ohm's law. Ohm's law, it states that you may take any conductor and at constant temperature, whatever the potential difference will be there, this potential difference between the ends of a conductor is directly proportional to current flowing through that conductor. We write like this: V is directly proportional to I at constant temperature. Once I repeat the statement, listen carefully. Ohm's law states that in any conductor at constant temperature, the potential difference between the ends of a conductor is directly proportional to the current flowing through that conductor. Even we have drawn the graph of V and I, potential difference and electric current. And we had taken current along x-axis and voltage, nothing but potential difference along y-axis. Then what is the nature of graph of V and I we obtained?
Slope, sir.
Straight line.
It is a straight line. See that this is a straight line. This straight line indicates the ratio of potential difference and current is constant. That is V by I equal to constant. Dear students, last year only you had come across finding the slope of the graph, right?
Yes,
Could
sir.
you tell what is slope?
Acceleration.
Not acceleration.
Retardation.
Slope. SLO.
Retardation. Retardation.
Yes,
Retardation.
not retardation. Let me tell you, I'm asking you about slope. Slope is, it is the ratio of vertical distance and horizontal distance. We write slope of the graph as vertical distance by horizontal distance. It is slope. Once I repeat, the ratio of vertical distance to the horizontal distance is known as slope of that particular graph. Here, we all know that here the nature of graph of V and I, it is a straight line. Let us go for finding the slope of this graph. I take 2 points on this graph. Let us call these points as A and B. Now, let me draw from E to the x-axis. Similarly, let us draw the line to be drawn from A parallel to x-axis. See, both will intersect at a point. Let us call this point as C. Now we got a right angle.
Pythagoras.
Here, no need to go for using Pythagoras theorem. I'll go for finding the slope of AB. Here I write slope of AB. This is equal to, as I said, vertical distance. What is the vertical distance?
BC.
DC, sir.
BC by
AC.
horizontal distance.
AC.
AC. BC, it is nothing but voltage.
Voltage.
Okay. And AC is nothing but current. We can write V by I. Slope of AB equal to
V by I.
V by I.
Potential difference and current graph is V by I. Clear up? Just it is an information. So now, this much was discussed in the last class. Let's go for continue. Just observe it. You all know that according to Mohm's law, we can write V is directly proportional to I at constant temperature. Here we have proportional. To remove this proportional, we will go for taking the proportionality constant. Let us say that proportionality constant as R. Hope that you are understanding.
Sir.
Because here R is proportionality constant. Proportionality constant. Let us call this proportionality constant as resistance. Of course, we define that. See, V is equal to I into R.
Only R.
So R as this is V transpose I to the denominator. R is equal to V by I. Followed? Here, R is electric resistance. Now let us come to know what is electric resistance. Here, the word resistance, you know that the meaning of the word resistance, it is restricting, nothing but opposing, nothing but not allowing. What does it not allow? Look here. Here, by using R is equal to V by I only, I go for solving I. I is equal to V by R, right? And R is equal to V by I is equal to V by R, and you can also solve V. V is equal to I into R, that we have already got. The relationship among these can be represented with a geometrical figure. Please don't go for writing, just look at the board. It is, look, V is equal to I into R, R is equal to V by I is equal to V by R. So this can be represented in a geometrical figure. Here, I've divided this geometrical figure triangle into 3 parts. Each part represents one physical quantity. Here, V is equal to I into R. Here I'll write V. This is I. This is I. Observe this. Here, V can be written as I into R. What about I? Current is
V by R.
Similarly, resistance R
V
is
by I.
V
V
by
by
I.
I.
So from this geometrical figure only, we can come to know all the 3 physical quantities. V is equal to I into R, I is equal to V by R is equal to V by I. So now let us get the information about resistance. As I said, the meaning of resistance is opposing, nothing restricting or not allowing. Then what does it not allow?
Electricity, sir.
It will not allow, it will try its best to not allowing the flow of electrons in the conductor or in the circuit. Got it? Flow of electrons, nothing but the charged particles only. So this is the property of all the conductor to oppose the flow of electrons. And we call this property as electric resistance. Once I repeat, the property of a conductor which obstruct the flow of electrons in it is called electric resistance. Here I'll write electric resistance. Then why you all may be thinking that why this property, that is why the resistance of a conductor will not allow the flow of electrons in it. It will try to avoid the flow of electrons in it. Dear students, just I'll give you an information regarding that. Observe. Yeah, think that it is the enlarged part of a conductor. As it is a solid, so in that atoms are bound very close to each other like this. And there are electrons which are loosely bound to the atom or which are free from the atom. They are called delocalized electrons. And these delocalized electrons will be moving in this space. When they are moving, when these electrons are moving, they often collide with the atoms. So these atoms will obstruct the flow of electrons in the conductor. And this is the common property for all the metals, all the conductors. And we call this as electric resistance. Once I repeat, the property of a conductor which opposes the flow of electrons in it is called electric resistance. Don't go for copy, just observe. Afterwards, I'll make you to write. The property of the conductor which opposes the flow of electrons to pass through it is known as electric resistance. And this electric resistance is denoted by the symbol capital R. Then we will write the formula to find out electric resistance as R is equal to, you can use this. What is this? R is
By I.
V by
by
I. R equal to V by I. Followed. This is the formula. Next. The electric resistance, it is also one of the physical quantity. It can be measured. So for measuring that, we go for using a unit. Do you know the SI unit of electric resistance?
Ohm, sir.
Yes, it is ohm. To honor the scientist, George Simon
George
Ohm
Simon
has
Ohm.
taken a part of his name, that is ohm, and symbolically it is to be represented like this, and we call it beta. Got it? Observe it. Once I repeat, the formula to find out electric resistance is R equal to V by I. Don't copy. Please don't go for copying. And electric resistance can be measured by using a unit called ohm. This is System of International Unit of Electric Resistance. Then actual unit is to be found out by using the formula. See, the R is equal to V by I. You know that the SI unit of voltage as well as current. Could you tell what is the SI unit of voltage?
Volt, sir.
Volt.
Volt. SI unit of current.
Ampere.
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 Bhumika MG. Bhumika MG. Could you tell what is the actual unit of electric resistance? Bhumika MG, Chandana S, Chandana H, Chaya B, Chaya M, any of these?
VA, sir.
Very good. You are right. Bhumika, you are right. It is volt per ampere. Volt per ampere. And symbolically, it can be written as it is V by A, or V A raised to the power minus. Follow?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand?
Sir.
It is not C by A. It is V by A. V by A, where V is volt, A is ampere. Look at it. Here, assume that the resistance, that is opposition offered by the conductor to the flow of electrons is 1 ohm. Electric resistance is 1 ohm. Under what condition it is? When
1 volt by 1 ampere.
Wait. When the potential difference between the ends of a conductor is 1 volt, and in which the amount of current flowing through the conductor is 1 ampere, then we can say that resistance offered by the conductor is 1 ohm. Once I repeat, look here. The resistance offered by the conductor is said to be 1 ohm. The resistance offered by a conductor is said to be 1 ohm. If the potential difference between the ends of the conductor is 1 volt and the current flowing through it is 1 ampere. Followed? I'll repeat it.
Sir.
Observe it. The resistance offered by the conductor is said to be 1 ohm if and only if the potential difference between the ends of a conductor is 1 volt and the current flowing through that conductor is 1 ampere. Clear up?
Yes, sir.
Chetan Kumar KM.
Sir, repeat it, sir.
I'll repeat it. Wait, I'll repeat. Chetan Kumar KM, Chetan Kumar S, Chinmayi MK. Please do come on the line. Chetan Kumar KM, Chetan Kumar S, Chinmayi MK. So any of these three can define 1 mole. Observe. Once I repeat, the resistance offered by a conductor is said to be 1 ohm. If the potential difference between the ends of a conductor is 1 volt and the current flowing through that conductor is 1 ampere. Followed? Okay. So in this chapter, as you all know that we are focusing more on electric current. Whatever we have the relationship, whether it may be V equal to I into R, R equal to V by I, and I is equal to V by R. In that, we can come to know that I is the current. Then I can be written as, you just go for using this triangle and tell how to write I.
V by R.
Yes, I is equal to V by R. We have already come across the relationship between V and I. Through Ohm's law, we have come to know that I is directly proportional to V, or V is directly proportional to I, right? My question is, what will be the current flowing through the conductor if voltage increases?
Current also
Sir,
increase.
current will also,
Current.
charge particles also
Also
increase.
increases.
Current will also increase.
If voltage decreases,
Current will also
Current
decrease.
will also decrease, sir.
Current will also
Decreases,
decrease.
sir.
right? Similarly,
Yes, sir.
just look here. Come across this formula again. I is equal to V by R. I take only with respect to R. R is in the denominator. Can we write it as inversely proportional to R?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
If the electric resistance increases, what will be
Current
the current?
decreases, sir.
decreases,
Decreases,
sir.
sir.
Current will
Decreases.
Decreases. Listen here. We all know that electric current is nothing but the flow of charge particles. Electric current is flow of charge particles, whereas electric resistance is opposition for the flow of charge particles. If this opposition increases, that is nothing but electrical resistance increases, then what will be the electric current?
Will decrease.
Decreases.
decrease.
Electric current decreases, right? Once I repeat, as electric resistance increases, which means that as there is more opposition for the flow of electrons increases, then electric current decreases.
Decreases.
Clear up? Similarly, if electric resistance decreases, that is
Current will
opposition for the
increase,
flow of
sir.
electrons.
Increases, sir.
Current will increases.
The flow of current will
If
increase.
there is less opposition, then electrons can flow easily.
Easy.
If electrons flow easily, then we can say that it constitutes good amount of current. Hence, we can say I increases. Clear up? Did you all understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Dear students, just I go for a simple activity to know again the relationship between this I and R, current and electric resistance. We have already come to know relationship between I and V, and even yesterday we came to know an activity conducted by George Simon Ohm. Now we are going to know again the relationship between I and R through an activity. Just here we have a chart. In this chart, you can come to know that we have a simple circuit. This is battery, is switch, and this is ammeter. Got it? All these are connected by using a connecting
Conductor.
wire. That is nothing but conductor. And there is a gap. You can notice that. So it is named as XY. In this gap, we will go for connecting these components. You can come to know that we have nichrome, then an electric bulb, and here torch bulb. Small bulb is there. Let us go for connecting one by one, and let us record the current flowing through that circuit in the ammeter. First one, here we will go for connecting nichrome in place of XY, then we will record ammeter. We will record the current in the ammeter. Similarly, next electric bulb will be connected. Next, we will record the current in the ammeter. In the same way, we will also move on to take this torch bulb. It is to be connected in place of XY. Then we will take the reading of the current in the ammeter. Then what may be the readings? You just go for guessing. Ammeter reading nothing but current. Whether current will go on increasing or decreasing. What will be the ammeter reading? Whether
Sir, it will decrease, sir.
ammeter reading
Increasing.
will be same or different.
Sir, it will show
Different.
Different, sir.
Difference.
Some are telling that, some are telling that increasing, some are telling that decreasing,
It's
some
different,
are telling
sir.
that it will remain same. What do you say?
Increases, sir.
Hmm? What do you say? It is very simple, very simple. Here it depends, we know that current depends on voltage. As the voltage increases, current increases. As voltage decreases, current
Current will
decreases.
decrease.
Are we changing the voltage? What do you say?
No, sir.
No,
No.
sir.
If voltage is not changing, then what will be the current flowing?
Sir, it depends of resistance of.
Same, sir.
Wait. What I'm asking you, what will be
Remains
the
same,
amount of
sir.
current flowing?
Remain same, sir.
It remains same. But whether ammeter reading will be different or same,
Different, sir.
it will
Different, sir.
be different. Why?
Because of the high voltage.
Difference of components.
Reason is, observe here we have nichrome bulb and the torch bulb. The amount of current drawn by each to work will be differ from 1 to 1, right? Nichrome needs more amount of current, whereas bulb it needs little bit less, whereas torch bulb for working it draws very small amount of electric current. What is the reason for drawing these? Because the
Resistance.
electric resistance is different from 1 to 1. Got it? So from this activity, we can come to know that different electrical components will draw different amount of electric current. To understand this, generally you can go for thinking that in your home you'll go for using different electrical components, like it may be the refrigerator, it may be washing machine, the electric bulb, tube light, then TV. Do they draw the same amount of electric current for working?
No, sir.
No, sir.
It will be differ from 1 to 1. And the resistance offered by these will also be different from 1 to 1. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Activity, we can come to know two things. One is electrical components. Different electrical components will draw different amount of electric current. Second thing is the resistance of electrical components will be differ from 1 to 1. Then whatever the electric resistance we are discussing, just we came to know that electrical resistance is different from one electrical component to another electrical component. Then does it depend on any other factors? Now let us come to know what are the factors on which electric resistance depends. Factors on which electric resistance depends. So before going to these factors, now let me give you the points what we discussed regarding what we discussed so far. Please go for right. I think yesterday I tell about Ohm's law, right?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Dear students, listen carefully. So we are getting attendance less students because so you are not going to turn on your video. As this result, so some students' name is not coming in attendance. So from Monday onwards, we are going to send the attendance list to your parents. If your name is not there, it is your responsibility. Don't ask anyone. This is the final warning to everyone. Thank you, sir. You may continue.
Okay. Okay, dear students, the last point that you have copied was, it is Ohm's law and it's a statement, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, with
Yes, sir.
respect to the graph of V and I, just go for right hand. Graph of VI have you
Yes, sir.
drawn the graph
Yes,
of
sir.
voltage
Yes,
and current?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Complete.
Yes, sir.
Completed, sir.
No. Conclusion from the graph. What is that conclusion? What is the nature of the graph of V and I?
Straight line.
Straight line, right. Nature of graph of V and I is a straight line. Nature of graph of V and I is a straight line. And even we have come to know from that V by I is always constant. Then next, slope of graph of V and I, it is, what is that?
Vertical divided by horizontal.
V by I, it is constant. And we will write this as slope. Slope is equal to vertical distance, it is for your information, by horizontal distance. And that vertical distance is nothing but voltage. The horizontal distance is I. That is current. Next point. Side heading, electric resistance. Electric resistance. Write down the definition. It is the property of a conductor. Please go on writing with me quickly. The property of a conductor which opposes the flow of electrons through it, the charged particles. The property of a conductor which opposes the flow of electrons through it is called electric resistance. Electric resistance. Now, let me give you the formula to find out electric resistance. To get that formula, let's go for using the Ohm's law. By Ohm's law, we know that it is V is directly proportional to I at constant temperature. Then we remove the proportional. To do that, we assume the proportionality constant, that is R. And we call this proportionality constant as electric resistance. Here you write R is proportionality constant. Proportionality constant. Then which is called resistance. Then you can write the formula to find out R. Electric resistance is equal to V by I. V by I. And please go for highlighting. Electric resistance, that is R is equal to V by I. Next. Below that, SI unit. Write the SI unit. SI unit. It is OHM. In bracket, right? The symbol of Ohm, nothing but omega. Next, actual unit. Actual unit. It is from the formula we have already come to know. It is volt per ampere, right? Volt per ampere. Volt per ampere. It should be in small letters only. Then in bracket you may write V by A or V into A raised to the power minus. Next, it is very important definition. Put double star mark. This is 1 ohm. Definition of 1 ohm. Definition of 1 ohm. That is, once you define the resistance offered by a conductor is said to be 1 ohm if the potential difference between the ends of a conductor is 1 volt and the current flowing through that conductor is 1 ampere. Right? If the potential difference between the ends of a conductor, potential difference between the ends of a conductor is 1 volt, and the current flowing through it is 1 ampere. 1 ampere. Comma, then the resistance The resistance offered by the conductor is said to be 1 mole. Or just you can write resistance is said to be 1 mole.
Tejas SV, write down appa. Tejas SV, write down. Don't sit simply. Please write down.
You can also define this in another way as 1 ampere of electric current flows through the conductor, in which the potential difference across the conductor is 1 volt. Then the resistance offered by the conductor is said to be 1 volt. Symbolically, it can be written as resistance 1 volt is equal to voltage 1 volt by current 1 ampere. 1 volt is equal to 1 volt by 1 ampere. Followed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, listen. In note, just you write a point to remember the relationship among V, I, and R. I've given you the figure, copy the same. That is triangle, and draw a line here also, perpendicular. Which part is this?
V, sir.
Volt,
It is
sir.
Y.
This is
I.
I.
and
Resistance.
R.
R. And just beside that only, you write these 3 parts. V is equal to I into R. Then I is equal to V by R. And R is equal to V by I. Okay. And through an activity, we have come to know 2 important points. You just note down those 2 points here only. One is the amount of current drawn by electrical component is different from 1 to 1. Even the resistance offered by them also. Right. Resistance offered by electrical components is different from 1 to 1 to other. One electrical component to another electrical component. The resistance offered by the electrical components is different from one electrical component to another electrical component. Dear students, could you tell what do you call the component which allow electrons to flow, charged particles to flow?
Current.
Conductor, sir. Conductor, sir.
Conductor.
Right? And we all know that all the components have some electric resistance, but based on the amount of opposition by these components, we will go for classifying these components as conductors, good conductors, poor conductors, insulators, as well as resistors. Got it? If there is a conductor, imagine that there is a conductor. It offers low electric resistance. It opposes the flow of electrons in less amount. Nothing but it is offering low electric resistance. Then what do you call that conductor? Oh, what do you call that conductor?
Good conductor.
Good conductor. Very good. Very good. If it is offering low electric resistance, means electrons can flow bit easily, right? Then it is a good conductor of electricity. Clear? If
Yes,
it
sir.
opposes more, means if it offers high electrical resistance,
Insulator.
then it is a poor conductor. Are you all following?
Yes, sir.
Are you all following?
Yes, sir.
Just wait. Imagine that we are going to take one copper wire. We are going to take copper wire and an iron wire. You know that arrangement of atoms in both, will it be same or different?
Different.
Different.
Which of these two, the atoms are packed tightly? Both are solid only tightly, but more tight in which of these? Whether in copper or iron.
Iron, sir.
Listen, in iron, the atoms are packed very tightly. In case of copper, comparatively iron, it is bit loosely. If so, in which of these two, that is copper and iron, electrons can flow easily?
Copper.
Very good, very good. In copper, electrons can flow easily. In which of these two offer low electric resistance?
Iron.
Copper or
Iron.
iron?
Iron, sir.
It is iron. In which of these two will offer low electric resistance? Copper or iron?
Iron, sir.
Iron.
Copper, sir. Because it has the electrons
Right.
pass through.
Once I repeat.
More amount.
We have copper, we have iron. In copper, atoms are packed tight, loosely, comparatively iron, right? In copper, electrons can flow easily, comparatively in case of iron. If electrons can flow easily, will there be more opposition or less opposition for the flow of electrons?
Less opposition.
Less opposition.
Opposition.
If there is less opposition for the flow of electron, electric resistance will be high or low?
No, sir.
Low, right? That means copper offers low electric resistance than iron. Among these, the component which offers low electric resistance is a good conductor. The component which offers high electric resistance is a poor conductor. In which of these two is good conductor?
Copper,
Copper
sir.
or iron?
Copper.
Copper offers low electric resistance, therefore good amount of current flows through in that. As a result of it, we can say that copper is a good conductor of electricity. Iron, it is with poor conductor on comparison. But if a component offers some appreciable amount of electric resistance, and we call that component as a resistor. Please do remember. Once I repeat, the component which offers the appreciable amount of electric resistance in it is called electric resistor. And there are some components like plastic. Will it allow the electrons to flow through it easily?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No,
No,
it's
sir.
not possible. Then what will be the electric resistance? Zero or very high.
Very high, sir.
Very high,
Very
sir.
high. Because electron
Very
cannot
high.
flow means there will be more opposition. Hence, we can call this component as insulator. Got it? Understood? Dear students, in your
Yes,
previous
sir.
Yes,
classes,
sir.
you had defined conductor and insulators as the material which allows the electric current to pass through it is called conductor, which will not allow the electric current to pass through it easily is called insulator.
Later.
This year, you must learn to define these conductor, good conductor, poor conductor, insulator, and resistor based on electric resistance. What do you call the component which offers low electric resistance?
Poor conductor or insulator.
Poor
Okay.
conductor.
No,
Good conductor.
once I repeat. Yes,
Good conductor.
you are right. Once I repeat, what do you call the component which offers low electric resistance?
Good conductor.
Good conductor, sir. Good conductor.
Conductor. High electric resistance.
Poor conductor.
Insulator or
Insulator.
poor conductor.
Conductor. A component which offers appreciable amount of electric resistance.
Resistor.
Insulator, sir. Resistance, sir.
Resistor. Conductor.
Listen. A component in which electrons cannot flow.
Resistor.
Insulator.
Insulator, sir.
Later.
Insulator.
Got it? Yeah, please, you just observe it. Here we have a chart. In this chart, I have shown the movement of the electrons in the solid. Here, these are the atoms. And here, whatever the space is available in that space, the electrons are moving. Please go for writing. Good conductor. Good conductor. Right, it is. It is the component which offers low electric resistance or high electric resistance.
Low electric.
Low.
Yes. I'm not going to write the definition completely, just 3 words. Or it's 2 words. Low electric resistance. It is the component which offers low electric resistance. Next, poor conductor or bad conductor. Poor conductor, then it offers high electric resistance. Then resistor which offer appreciable amount of electric resistance. Appreciable resistance. Then insulator. Much high electric resistance. Written up.
Yes, sir.
Listen. You all may be thinking that, is there any conductor or any component which offers zero electric resistance? Zero electric resistance means there will be no opposition for the flow of electrons. Electrons can flow easily. Is there any such component? No. but
Variable resistor.
prepare. Do you know what do you call the component which offers zero electric resistance?
Superconductor.
Air.
It is called superconductor. It is called superconductor. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
A component which offers
Yes, sir.
zero electric resistance is called superconductor. One example, mercury. See, it can be made a superconductor when its temperature is brought to just very low, low temperature, that is 4.2 Kelvin. When temperature of mercury is brought to 4.2 Kelvin, then it acts as a superconductor. That is, it offers zero electric resistance. So write down. It is superconductor. Superconductor. It is zero electric resistance. Zero electric resistance. Yes, students, now let us come to know the factors on which electric resistance depends. Right, side. Side D. Right. Factors. Factors on which electric resistance depends are the factors which affect electric resistance. Factors on which electric resistance depends. Factors on which electric resistance depends. Written up.
Yes, sir.
Okay, observe. Actually, we have an activity in the textbook, but apart from that, I'm just going to give you these factors with general understanding. Just imagine I'm going to take a conductor, and this is its enlarged part. So this is the conductor whose enlarged part is taken. You all know that how the atoms are packed in this arrangement of atoms. This is arrangement of atoms. And we have already come to know the movement of the electrons. Here, whatever the space is available, so this space is the path for the flow of electrons. And these atoms will obstruct the movement of will try to obstruct the movement of the electrons, which we call it as electric resistance. Every conductor offers some electric resistance, but it will be different from 1 to 1. Here, this conductor offers some electric resistance. I call it as R. I'm going to take the same type of conductor. If it is copper, next one is also copper. Observe, this is copper. Again, I'm taking copper, but only the difference is, what is the difference?
Length.
Too long.
Only
Length of
length.
Length.
Here, electrons are traveling. They experience opposition from the atoms. Here also, electrons will be flowing. They too will experience opposition for their movement by the atoms. In which of these two, there will be more opposition for the flow of electrons?
Second one.
Same or different?
Second one. Second one.
First one or second one?
Second one.
Both.
In case of second one. What may be the reason for this?
Length.
I'm sorry, yeah.
There will be more.
Wait. Just look at here. Plenty of electrons are, millions of electrons are there. Just I am taking only one electron. One electron should travel from here to here. So in between, there will be opposition for its movement, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Assume that the length of the wire has been increased. Here also one electron will be taken. See, it has to travel from here to here. Got it? In which of these two, electron will experience more opposition? First one or second?
First one, sir.
Second one.
Second one.
First one. Second one.
It has to flow, it has to travel for a longer distance. Whereas in first case, electron will travel for shorter distance. Like suppose when you are moving on the road, often you come across the speed breakers, right?
Yes, sir.
Usually you will observe the speed breakers on the road. If suppose you travel for 100 meters, you may come across just one speed breaker. As you go on increasing the distance, whether the same number of speed breakers will be there, whether it will be more.
More, sir.
It will be
More,
more.
sir.
Understood? Similarly, if when the electrons are traveling for a longer distance, oftenly they get opposition from the atoms. From this, we can come to know that as the length of the conductor increases, the electric resistance, what happens?
Increases.
What happens to the electric resistance?
Increases, sir.
Increases or
Sir,
decreases?
decreases.
Increases.
Increases, sir.
Observe here. Here, in both the cases, electrons are moving. But here, in first case, electrons will travel for shorter distance. Second one, longer distance. In which of these two electrons, I take this is first electron, second electron. In which of these two electrons will get more opposition?
Second one, sir.
Second one, sir.
Second one, sir.
In which of these two electric resistance is more?
Second one.
First one or second one? Yes, second one.
Second one.
Second one. So from this we can come to know that electric resistance depends on the length of the conductor. As the length increases, electric resistance also increases. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand?
Second one is not packed, no, sir, with atoms.
Sir,
Second
there
one?
will be a same amount of electrons, sir, in second one also.
Yeah. No. I told you that I have taken only copper wire. Same thickness, but length is different. So one electron is moving from here to here. It will experience the opposition from first, second, third, fourth, like this. Just 10 atoms only. Whereas in this case, opposition offered from more number of atoms. Hence, electric resistance will be more here than this.
Yes,
As
sir.
the length of the conductor increases, electric resistance also increases. Clear?
Yes, sir.
As the length of the road increases, number of speed breakers also increase. Like this. So right now, first one, it is length of the conductor.
Sir, should we copy the diagram, sir?
No need, just follow my instruction. Here I ask you to write and just I told you to copy. Length of the conductor, in bracket you write L. Now, simple question. What is the electric resistance of the conductor as the length increases?
Resistance also increases. sir.
Resistance also increases, sir.
Resistance
Also increases. As the length decreases,
Resistance also decreases.
Resistance also decreases.
also decreases. Then what is the relationship between resistance and length of the conductor?
Directly proportional.
Directly proportional.
Proportional.
Sir, they are directly proportional to each.
R is equal to R is directly proportional to N. R is directly proportional to N. As length increases, electric resistance also increases. As length decreases, electric resistance also decreases. Ora, have you finished?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Observe. Here, now again I'm going to take two conductors. First one is copper. Even second one is also copper. See that? We have taken two wires of same kind. Both are copper only. Even observe their length. Length is also same, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
what difference do you find?
Width, sir.
Thickness.
Thickness
Sir,
of it.
height.
Difference in the thickness. See, second one is thicker than first one. And first one is thinner than second one. I call it as A, this as B. Here also, atoms are packed tightly, electrons will move in the space. And obviously, the electrons will get opposition from the atoms. So, both will offer electric resistance. Now, my question is, in which of these two will offer less electric resistance? First one or second?
Yes, sir.
B, sir.
Yes, sir.
A first one.
Yes, sir.
Once I ask you, which of these two offer low electric resistance?
B, sir.
A1, sir.
Some of you are telling that A, some of you are telling that B.
A.
Same, sir.
Yes, sir.
Wait. Just listen. Assume that there are two roads. There are two roads. The width of one road is just 5 meters. Second road is 8 meters. Got it? And some number of people, assume that around 100 number of people are allowed to move in both the roads. First one, narrow road, 5 meters, and another one is 7 or 8 meters. In which of these two roads people can move easily?
8 meter.
8 meter road.
8 meters. Because
8
as the width of the road increases,
Number of people can move easily.
people will get more space, so they can move comfortably. Here also, as the thickness of the conductor increases, electrons will get more space for their movement. If so, in which of these two electrons can flow easily? First one or
B.
second?
B.
B.
Sir, B, sir. B.
Okay. In B, electrons can flow easily. If so, what will be the resistance offered by these two conductors? In which of these two will offer low electric resistance?
B.
B.
B, sir. B, sir.
More amount of current flows, A or B?
B.
B, sir.
B, sir. B, sir.
Once I
B,
repeat, Look
D,
here.
sir.
As the thickness increases, electrons will get more space for their movement. Hence, they get less opposition for their movement. If they get less opposition, they can travel easily. If they travel easily, electric resistance decreases. Right? Understood?
Sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir. Sir.
from this activity or from this information, we can come to know that electric resistance depends on another physical quantity. What is that?
With thickness or width?
Thickness of the conductor.
Thickness of the conductor. Thickness is nothing but this part. Suppose you go for taking a carrot and you'll go for chopping it. What you'll get? You'll get number of circular shaped pieces. What do you call these circular shaped pieces? It is area of cross section. So here also we'll go for thickness is nothing but area of cross section of the conductor. Clear? Did you understand or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
As the area of cross section increases, electric resistance decreases.
Decreases.
As the area of cross section decreases, electric resistance
Increases.
increases. Right. Second one, area of cross section of the conductor. Area of cross section of the conductor. Area of cross section of the conductor. I take this area of cross section as capital A. Electric resistance depends on area of cross section. Directly or inversely?
Inversely, sir.
Inversely.
See that? As area increases, electric resistance.
Decreases.
Decreases.
As area decreases, electric resistance
Increases.
increases. As one quantity increases, other quantity decreases, and vice versa. And we call this as inversely.
Inversely.
That's why R is inversely proportional to A. R is inversely proportional to A. R is proportional to 1 by A. Here I'll write as area of cross section increases, electric resistance decreases. As area of cross section decreases, electric resistance increases. Ora?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay.
Sir.
Listen. Now we are moving to the third fact. Okay, this is the conductor. Call it as copper. And it is normal temperature. Let us take the normal temperature as 20 degrees Celsius. At this temperature, it has some electric resistance, right? Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
There is some electric resistance at this temperature. Now, let us take the same only, but here it is, we are not going to heat it, but assume that the temperature has been changed. Same oil only, temperature has been changed from 20 degrees Celsius to 25 degrees Celsius. Will there be any difference in the resistance offered by the conductor? Is same, both are same only. But that's good. Here we have taken the conductor when it is at 20 degrees Celsius and when it is at 25 degrees Celsius. Will they offer same electric resistance?
Sir.
No, sir.
Okay. If you want to answer for that, just I'll go for giving you the explanation regarding what, how will be the conductor when temperature increases. Look here. Here also, number of atoms are there. You all know that the type of motion, the type of motion exhibited by the atoms in the solid. Could you tell? What type of motion is shown by the atoms in solids that you have learnt in 9th standard?
Uniform motion.
Not zigzag.
Rest.
Okay, just listen to me. You know that in case of air, the particles can move from one region to another region. In case of liquid, the particles will move from one region to another region in a small part. Whereas in case of solid, the particles are packed tightly. They cannot move from one region to another region. So, but in spite of that, we say that there will be a movement of particles in solids as well. My question is, what type of motion shown by the particles present in the solid? Not
Vibration.
linear. Yes, either vibrate. They'll be vibrating or else rotating, and we call this type of motion as chaotic motion. Chaotic motion. CHAOTIC. Chaotic motion. The type of motion shown by particles in solid is chaotic. Means either they will be vibrating or they will be rotating. When the temperature of the conductor increases, this vibration, see that this vibration, what happens? Vibration, what happens?
Increases.
Increases.
If
Decreases.
vibration increases, what will be the opposition for the flow of electrons? First time it will be vibrating like this. See that?
Sir, it will be difficult.
Listen, when it is at 20 degrees Celsius, it will be vibrating like this. And electrons will flow. And they will collide with the atoms. So there will be opposition for their movement. But if the vibration increases, what will be the movement of the electrons?
Conversion, sir.
What will be the opposition for the movement of electrons? Increases or decreases?
Decreases. Decreases, sir.
Increases. There will be more opposition, right? See that. As the vibration increases, there will be more opposition for the flow of electrons. If more opposition for the flow of electrons, what will be the electric resistance? Increases or decreases?
Increases.
Increases, sir.
Increases or increases?
What will be the resistance of this conductor? Increases or decreases?
Increases, sir. Increases.
Increases.
Increases, right?
Yes, sir.
Are you all following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Once I tell that, here the atoms are there, electrons can move. As usual, they collide with the atoms. They'll experience some electric resistance. But here, as the temperature increases, they vibrate more and more. Then oftenly they collide more with the atoms than this. This electric resistance increases as the temperature increases. So what is the third physical quantity?
Temperature of the conductor.
Temperature.
Nature of the material
Temperature rises, resistance also rises.
Temperature of the conductor, right? Temperature of the conductor, in bracket you may write capital T. Temperature of the conductor. Then how it depends? Directly or inversely?
Directly.
Inversely, sir.
Yes.
Directly, sir.
Proportional to T, that is temperature. As temperature increases, electric resistance also increases. As temperature increases, electric resistance also decreases. Vara.
Yes, sir.
Now
Yes, sir.
just observe it. We are moving to fourth one. Let me go for taking three conductors of same length, same area of cross section at same temperature. I take first one as, what is this AG?
Silver.
Silver. Silver.
What is its Latin name?
Argentum.
Argentine.
Argentum. Next, Cu.
Copper.
Copper.
Yes, this is copper. What is its Latin name?
Cupramonium.
Cuprum, sir.
Cuprum.
Cuprum. Next, another one. Fe.
Iron.
Iron.
Iron, sir.
What is its
Ferrous.
Latin name?
Ferrum.
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 Argentum, cuprum, ferrum. Silver, copper, iron. These three metals are taken, metallic wires are taken of same length. All of these are having the same length and same area of cross section. Nothing but thickness is also same. And all are at same temperature. Assume that it is about at 20 degrees Celsius. Followed? Listen. Here we know that silver, copper and iron all are solids. How will be the arrangement of atoms in case of solid?
Tightly packed.
Tightly
They are
packed.
packed tightly, right?
Tightly packed.
In all these, atoms are packed tightly. But among these three, it is general question. Among these three, which can be cut easily?
Copper.
Silver, sir.
Silver, sir.
Copper.
Silver.
Copper.
Silver, copper, and iron.
Copper.
Silver, silver, sir.
Copper.
Silver.
Some of you are, okay. Some of you are telling copper, some of you are telling silver, some of nobody is telling iron. It's very fortunate, but we have 50-50 option. Either it may be silver or copper. Very simple thing. You'll go for taking copper wire and silver wire of same length and same area of cross section. Just go for rotate it, turning it, and turning some number of times. Both can be cut, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But which can be cut easily?
Silver.
Copper or silver?
Copper.
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 Can test that silver can be cut easily, not copper. Silver, just by rotating few times only, yes. Vaishnav BM, you are right. Silver will.
It has
is
more
cut
ductility.
easily. Whereas iron, if you go for rotating that, it takes more time for breaking or cutting. So from this, we can we conclude that the arrangement of atoms is loosely bound in silver than in copper, than in iron.
Yes, sir.
And they are packed very tightly in case of iron.
Yes, sir.
Do you accept these two statements?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
If it is so, could you tell in which of these three electrons can flow easily?
Silver.
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 In silver, electrons can easily. If electrons can flow easily, what will be the electric resistance of that
Low.
conductor?
Low.
Sir.
Low, sir. Low.
Low. See, we can say that electric resistance offered by silver is low and copper is bit high, whereas iron it is
Highly increased.
right.
Yes, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So here the nature of the metal is different from one to one. So this is one of the factor is responsible for electric resistance, increase or decreasing electric resistance. That is nature of material of the conductor. Nature of material of the conductor. Clear?
Sir.
Yes, right. Fourth one. Nature of material of the conductor. Material of the conductor. Nature of material of the conductor. So electric, from this we can say that electric resistance is different from one component to another component because the arrangement of particles is different from one to one. Clear? Okay. Just once you go through, this is very important concept. Please put double star mark for this. So, electric resistance depends on length of the conductor, area of cross section of the conductor, temperature of the conductor, and fourth one is nature of material of the conductor. Next, observe. Just we have come to know the fourth point that the arrangement of atoms is different from one to one. If I take copper and iron, in copper they are packed loosely, then iron. Here we have taken copper and iron, two wires of same length and same thickness. Whether resistance offered by copper and iron will be same or different?
Different, sir.
Different.
Copper has its own electric resistance. Iron has its own electric resistance. Is it not?
Sir.
Then, okay. Now I take only copper. If I go for increasing the length of the copper and increasing the thickness of the copper, will there be any change in the arrangement of arrangement of atoms?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Arrangement of atoms.
Yes, sir.
Please understand. Pratham Raikar is telling that no. Here all these are copper only. Copper. This is copper. This is copper. My question is, will there be any change in the arrangement of atoms?
No, sir.
Atoms from
No,
B,
sir.
from A, B, and C. Will it be different or same?
Same, sir.
Same.
Arrangement will be
Atoms will be same, sir.
ಒಂದೇ ತರ ಪ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲ irrespective of the length and thickness. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So this copper has a capacity to oppose the flow of electron. Either it may be A, B, or C. It will not change. Are you all following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Listen, capacity to oppose the flow of electrons is different from one material to another material. But if you go for taking only one kind of material, irrespective of its length and thickness, its opposition will be same. Do you know which physical quantity will describe this? Which physical quantity will describe the capacity to oppose the flow of electrons?
Resistance.
You are telling that material. The not volume.
Ohm, sir.
No.
Mass.
I just once I clarify that. Here we have taken same kind of material, but different length and different thickness. Arrangement of atoms is same in all the three, irrespective of length and thickness. So, as the statement is saying, the opposition offered for the flow of electrons will be same in all the three cases.
No, sir.
That, so this capacity to oppose the flow of electrons is different from one material to another material. So which physical quantity will describe that? Hmm? Okay. You just think over it. Let us discuss about this in tomorrow's class. Dear students, tomorrow you will be having, not, it is not potential difference. Dear students, tomorrow you will be having the test. It will be conducted in the morning from 6 to 8. I have already given you the syllabus. Syllabus says maths only additional questions. And science, whatever I have covered. Up to here. Got it?
Sir, how much marks, sir? How many marks, sir?
It is for 25 marks, 1 hour. 25 marks, 1 hour.
Sir, both subject 25, sir.
Maths 10, science 15.
Okay, sir.
Then after that, from 9 o'clock, parent-teacher meeting will be there. Your presence is also must along with your parent. Just inform your parent.
Sir, time.
Test is from morning 6 to 7. Test is from morning 6 to 7. And parent-teacher
Okay, sir.
meeting is from 9 to 9:30 or 9:45. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So,
Yes, sir.
whatever the concepts we have taught today, please do practice them
10:40.
today itself without fail. And please think
Okay,
of
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So,
Thank
bye,
you.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
So, thank you, sir. Bye, sir.